Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Liverpool Latest. I'm your host, Matt, and it is a pleasure to be here once again, as this entire video will be centered in one way, shape, or form around the game against Real Madrid in the Champions League, which by the time this video will go up, will only be a few short hours. But I have some news for you going back to Sunday night when I happened to see it cross my feed. So, much of the discussion this season, as far as the defensive side goes, is about Ibrahima Konate. All right, his contract expires at the end of the season. They've been trying to get him a new contract. Apparently, the offers that he has received have not been to his liking. So I'm not sure how many he's rejected, but as far as I know, every single one of them have been rejected. Last night, I see a post across my Twitter feed, or not last night, Sunday night. I see a post across my Twitter feed, and it says that it's an exclusive, so to speak. And I don't know how much I believe this, but it says that Ibrahima Konate was offered another contract by Liverpool. It was given to his agent that afternoon. And for some reason, Real Madrid, the other team involved who seemingly wants Konate, was informed of the contract offer. I'm confused about that last part. I'm not sure what the etiquette when it comes to contract negotiations in football are, but as far as I'm aware, I don't ever see anything reported about the opposing team trying to acquire the player being informed that that player got a new contract from the team they're currently on. That, or unless there's like unless that there's a reason for it, I'm not sure. Someone can leave that down in the comments section below, because I'm at a loss as to why this would happen. Here's why I kind of am skeptical about this particular post. I don't think it's legit, because if this was legit, I would have seen it all across my feed throughout the day. I searched, today's Monday. I have searched it all day in some way, shape, or form. I've done every sort of keyword I can think of, and I have not seen a single report that Konate was offered a new contract that day to Liverpool. That's why I call this a rumor. And it seems like a lot of people are running with said rumor, but I'm not sure if this is one I believe personally. I'm not going to put it past them that it could have happened, but unless I see some concrete evidence from another source, because I try to I use all my sources to kind of make sure that everything is correct here. As far as I know, this is the only source that I've seen report it at all in the last 24 hours, and I question its validity for sure. Now, where I want to take this particular part of the video is with Real Madrid. I saw something else today that bothers me a little bit, saying that today's game with them in the Champions League is the quote-unquote audition when it comes to Konate. How well he performs will determine if the team continues to be interested in him. I don't know how I feel about that. That's been something I've been reading a lot from several sources today. I find the fact that this is now happening again to us incredibly disrespectful after the Trent Alexander-Arnold issue last year. And don't worry, we'll get to him. We will get to him. I will tell you that much. But before we do that, here's a couple of pre-match points for us to discuss. I was doing some research when it came to Liverpool and Real Madrid facing each other in European games, and it seems as though the first three meetings Liverpool won those all three of them. Ever since then, they've only garnered one win, and that was the most recent one, to my knowledge, at Anfield last year, from what I understand. This is the 13th overall meeting in all of the European Cup or Champions League games. I don't know, man. It seems like we don't play very well against them, especially considering that they're a pretty stacked team. Of course, they have Mbappe, who's probably one of the greatest players in the world right now, someone I always see in the conversation consistently. And then they have a great coach who just so happens to be a former Liverpool player in, I'm going to butcher this, I swear to God. This is how I've always read it as, but Xabi Alonso. And he kind of scares me. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's had success with clubs he's been in. Obviously, I think it was Bayern Leverkusen. He's coached the last season in the wasn't La Liga. It was I forgot what the German Bundesliga, something like that. I think it was whatever the German league is, but he coached them. Found great success. I think they won the championship. If not, I think they got second place. So it was like super close. He's no slouch. He'll probably know some of our game plan. He's experienced it as a player. He's a beloved player for the team. I'm a little bit scared as to what sorts of schemes he's going to come up with. Of course, we also have our own guys that have been doing well. You know, Salah has been back to form for now. Szoboszlai has been the most consistent player on the team, in my opinion. And then we'll see. We'll just have to see what happens. I mean, I actually read something earlier today that, speaking of Salah, that he's set to make his 200th appearance. Could you believe that? 200th appearance at Anfield. And then Dominic Szoboszlai and Virgil van Dijk have played every minute of Liverpool's Champions League campaign so far. So they're used to the stress that goes into it. Konate, speaking of the devil, could make his 50th career appearance in the UEFA club competition, which means it might quite possibly be, at least against Real Madrid, one of his last for the Reds. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Here's another stat that kind of bothers me. I'm not going to lie. Connor Bradley. Apparently, if he gets a yellow card in this game, he's going to be suspended in the PSV game following this in a couple of weeks. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Connor Bradley has been iffy throughout the course of the season, but we will just have to see about that. So here's the part of the video that everybody is looking forward to. All right. Trent Alexander-Arnold. He had a conversation with BBC and a couple of other outlets about what seems to be, for him, a emotional return to Anfield, and to the Liverpool team and fans. Everything about his situation has rubbed me the wrong way. I don't blame him for leaving. If he wanted to leave, that's fine. They couldn't give him a contract they could not give him a contract that was up to his standard, from what I understand. Because, as we all know, we were in a huge situation last season. Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent could have left all in one go, and we would have been screwed. But Trent was the only one that left. And again, it's not that he left, it's how he left that rubs us the wrong way. Because for me personally, I don't want to talk to other teams while I'm in the middle of a championship race here for the Premier League. The fact that he was going around and maybe his agent was going around and touting it, and it made news, really rubbed fans the wrong way. And he just, many fans, including myself to some degree, felt that he let his contract run out deliberately to secure a cheaper move and left on a free. Which, that was even worse. Not only did we lose Trent and someone of his caliber, we got it for virtually, they got him, Real Madrid, for virtually nothing. And, he's been called a rat in every which way, but he has been, his love for the club, though, shockingly enough, despite how the fans have been treating him since that day, has not wavered, which is shocking. He goes on with a quote that says, "I will love the club and always will." He even went as so far as to say, "If I do score a goal, I'm not going to celebrate." Which I don't know if I mean to take that as respectful, but at the same time, I don't know if he's saying that just to make sure he doesn't get murdered by the fans. Because, God, if he does score, I could only imagine the hurl of insults that he's going to get thrown at him. Lord have mercy on his poor soul. I'm not going to lie, though. I mean, it's not like he's having a great season at Real Madrid. I mean, he's a second string player, it seems. He joined them. He hasn't played since returning from his hamstring injury. And he might start because I think their first guy is out. So he's going to start regardless, I think. And we'll have to see where that goes. I just this alone, this whole subject alone is where I find interest in the game and almost nothing more. Yes, it's a rivalry game, but this Trent thing is going to be what really sets everyone up in a frenzy for sure. I did see something though. He has spoken to former players like Andy Robertson, Mo Salah, and Konate. But that said, as far as I have read, Van Dijk has not had much of a conversation with him, and it's weird. Like I saw a report that he goes on to talk about, this whole thing with Trent, and he said he hadn't talked to him much. I'm sure he hopes he's doing well. I think that was part of that as well. But honestly, I mean, Van Dijk looked pissed. He sounds pissed. And I honestly, ever since that news was kind of breaking, Van Dijk's demeanor towards Trent was a little different towards the end of the season. And I think it's still different now. I feel like Van Dijk might feel a little bit betrayed to some degree by Trent. I mean, not that the quotes I was reading were any sort of negative towards him, but he was more like, he's going to get a lot of hate for it. I don't necessarily encourage it, but I guess the fans are entitled to their own opinions and whatnot. But yeah, that was a very interesting thing I saw in regards to the conversation around Trent. All I know is if we do beat them today, technically, if we do beat Real Madrid today, fans are going to use this for a long time. They're going to get so much content and material out of it clowning Trent, and not that I want that, but that will probably be the case. And last but certainly not least, I have the injury report that is going to be going into this game. Unable to play, as if these three names were not already painfully evident. Alisson Becker, Jeremy Frimpong. I don't know when he's ever going to come back because he's the most unsure out of all of those, all the three I'm talking about. Isak, unfortunately, will not start or even have a spot on the bench. He actually won't even be ready for Sunday against Man City. I don't even think Becker's going to be ready for Man City, which is going to be really rough. So, and of course, Frimpong, again, I don't know when he's going to come back. That's been hurting us quite a bit. But I did make a mistake, though. I misread my notes for a second. Isak is possible to be on the bench against Man City, but it seems like he won't be starting at all or having any sort of impact on the game against Real Madrid. Here's another thing. Curtis Jones is back, so now we have a little bit more to bolster the midfield and possibly the defense if they choose to put him on there. And, it's just, again, I'm not the biggest Curtis Jones fan, but having another body out there as an option is going to be something that's very, very helpful. So that's all I really have. It's going to be a big game after this upload gets released, so we're just going to have to wait and see. And, of course, I will be back the following day giving you my thoughts from everything that has transpired after the game. So I appreciate you guys checking out Liverpool Latest once again. Please subscribe and leave a like and comment on the video. Let me know your thoughts. I haven't gotten much of that interaction yet, so if you happen to have something you want to say, please let me know, and I will happily read it, whether it's criticism, on the videos and how I can do better. Your thoughts on the team going into this game, anything. So, no matter what, ladies and gentlemen, you will never walk alone.